Hello and welcome to the Flixters, the place where two movie geeks bring you all the movie reviews, news and gossip you could ever wish for in your life. Download our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Castbox and Anchor. And follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Don't miss out. We will see you there.
Yes, ladies and gents. So, Deval, we are back again.
We are back.
And what an eventful week, right?
A very eventful week.
Listen, I just want to say to you one thing. How many movies have we fitted in this week?
Quite a few, 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a we say this all the time. It's always ram-packed, but seriously, in today's episode, we are reviewing. Let's go through them.
Okay, we're going through it. So it's Slender Man, Black Klansman, The Spy Who Dumped Me, and Yardy. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as well as all the hidden gems, as well as Anniversary Corner, film news, all the usual banter that we bring you, we've got you 4 films to review. Okay, so sit back, enjoy it, relax, take it easy, and we hope you enjoy the show. So, Deval, we're back again for another week of the Flixters. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yes, I'm doing well. You're laughing at me.
No, seriously, I feel bad because, our listeners can't see this, and we've got to try and put a picture up on our Instagram page, right? So you've done your leg in.
Yeah, I've done my knee in.
Yeah.
I'm getting old now. So I'm trying to play football, actually, funny enough, the team that we were playing against, the average age was 20.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and that's like half my age.
Yeah, seriously, so, you 20-year-old, 50-year-old, there's a big kind of difference with that whole thing. But
so I busted my knee basically. I bent it backwards. The knee's not supposed to bend backwards, and I've got like a strap around thing around my knee, and I can't play football for a while. But I mean, you got to look at the positive side. I mean, I've got one leg is taken away. I still got two
other legs left.
Exactly. So, life goes on.
Shit. No, it's brilliant. And obviously for our colonial cousins out there, we're referring to soccer.
Yeah.
Right. Just so that you know,
soccer.
So any Yanks out there, we're not talking about American football. No. We're talking about soccer over here, which in this neck of the woods, it's called football.
Exactly.
All right. Actually, everywhere else is called football.
I was just going to say, everywhere else is football.
Everywhere else apart from America is like, yeah. But okay, fine. Let's not get into all that.
Yeah. So
let us start off with some movie news. And Deval, does September the 15th... kind of does that ring any bells for you? September the 15th, so in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep, a couple of weeks' time. So that's the release, or the launch, I should say, of the DC streaming service called DC Universe.
Yeah. Just give me a breakdown with this. So this is going to be everything DC Universe related. Like this is like comic book characters, comics.
Yes. TV shows, movies, old and new. Well, I guess as new as you can get, and all the legacy. So Adam West Batman, all the Schumacher, George Clooney, all those Batman, Superman, Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
All the animations, also comic book, on digital versions of comic books. All the news. There's going to be a TV show. Well, an online show hosted by Kevin Smith that's going to be on there as well. So
shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, so you're going to get everything DC. It's literally called DC Universe for a reason. Everything in the DC Universe will be on there. So
just to kind of add to that, so when Shazam comes out, obviously there's going to be like a massive cinema release.
Yes, of course.
And then that will then just go straight onto that DC Universe streaming, right?
And they may even show an extra, trailer or clip on there that you may not get anywhere else. So, for the exclusive DC customers, they may get some sneaky bits that other people don't have access to. So it's going to have more incentives for people to join the streaming service.
Now, over here in the UK and Europe, we tend to get stuff like a lot later, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot later.
So, I mean, this is launching September the 15th in the US.
Correct, yeah.
Possibly like Canada as well. I'm not sure, North America. But what about any idea of when this could come to the UK?
I actually got a sneaky feeling that it will launch here pretty much the same time, if not the same time.
Okay.
Because the world is getting smaller. Technology is enabling connectivity and, communication all over the world. So, not to miss out too much. I think they're going to want us and everyone else to be unified in the launch so that we're not, we don't feel left out and so on. So I do think, and I hope that they do, just sync it up,
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Teen Titans.
Yeah, that's actually going on to the next one. Was that on purpose?
Oh shit! No. Sorry, I didn't see that one. Sorry, yeah. What was the next one?
So the next thing on our news, the Titans live action show will be debuting on DC Universe streaming service on the 12th of October.
So a month later.
Exactly, yeah, a month later, and it will it will be 12 episodes long. And so literally they're going to, launch the platform, first of all, get people used to it, get subscribers on, also gives them a bit more time to, reach out to the subscribers to get them to watch the Titans show. So that's meant to be a really, really good show. It's going to be darker. It's going to, be quite bloody in areas.
Yeah.
F-bombs are going to be, popping off here and there. So that's going to be a good one. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I really want to see this. I want to see what they do with those types of characters, which probably, I certainly haven't heard of them. I've heard of the Teen Titans because of the cartoon show and everything.
Yes,
But it'd be good just to see what they do with that.
Exactly, and a much darker version of them. Starfire, Beast Boy. You got Raven. Obviously Dick Grayson dropping F-bombs in the trailer.
And he says, remember he cusses Batman. No, he says something.
Batman. He just says F Batman. straight away.
Out of nowhere. That's it. Someone says to him, "Where's Batman?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck Batman."
Yeah, and he's killing people right there and then.
Yeah. Okay, this is good. I love that. Okay, so remember when I think this was probably back about 3 or 4 episodes ago, you mentioned you saw the trailer for First Man, which is the Damien Chazelle film on the space mission to the moon.
Yep.
So Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and I'm sorry, I forgot the third person's name.
Was his name Michael something? I think I could be wrong there, but the third man that everyone forgets.
and that's why it's not called the third man; it's called the first man. All right.
Exactly.
So apparently, this film was shown at the Venice Film Festival, and there was a 3-minute ovation. Now I don't know. 3 minutes, everyone just standing up, clapping for 3 minutes. I mean, that's pretty big deal, right?
But you know what? There's one caveat to that.
What?
I've seen the clip. They stood up, they were clapping, and then these ushers came and took away their chairs, so they couldn't sit down. They couldn't sit down. So it lasted 3 minutes until they all walked off. So that's the reason.
So basically, you couldn't sit down, so you fucking had to stand up, and you had to be clapping.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, okay. But
but that's good. That's good to hear. I mean, it means that it's been received well, and a lot of these. A lot of the festivals that are, Venice and, Cannes and so on, the audience does represent a large, I guess, I don't know, not general public almost. So you get a lot of production and a lot of critics and so on in the crowd, or in the audience. So yeah, if they really stood up and 3 minutes of their time standing up, then it must mean it's a good film.
Yeah, and complete opposite to the house that Jack built, where 100 people walking out, like half the audience.
But in some ways, I want to see that more because they walked out. I want to see what made them so sick.
What made them want to fucking just go be like, I'm
walk out to impress me. I'm weird.
No,
so walk out to impress me more than ovations.
Oh, and another thing that I wanted to quickly mention, on this show we speak about Star Wars, and you've got friends who are like massive Star Wars fans. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, so this kind of really interesting. Matt Smith, who played so not the previous Doctor but the one before that.
Okay.
So before Peter Capaldi, it was Matt Smith, and he's going to be in the next Star Wars film. Okay. In a big role. I'm like, wow, okay, let me hear more about this. Obviously, I started digging around on the net, couldn't find much, but all I got was he's got a pivotal role in the next film. It's J.J. Abrams directed, and that kind of closes off, obviously, the modern trilogy thing. Yeah. And after that, we don't know where it's going to go.
Oh, so will we have... Who does know? What's his name? The one that directed The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson or something.
Yeah.
He probably knows.
He does know, exactly. But yeah, like, it's interesting just to find out, like, what an ex-Doctor Who's up to.
Do you reckon he might, like, throw in a couple of Daleks into the Star Wars
I hope there's
universe?
some reference in there. I hope this is like a Doctor Who reference.
Come to their dark side.
Oh, shit. Another piece of news that I wanted to kind of let everyone else know about. Top Gun 2, we spoke about this before on the show, and it's in full swing. It's going to come out. We are definitely going to see it. However, a bit delayed now. So it was going to be coming out in 2019. It's actually been delayed now till the 26th, and they're quite specific on this, 26th of June 2020.
That is specific, isn't it? Not even just June, but an actual date.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what big films is that going to be? Spider-Man is when?
Spider-Man is next year. Far From Home is next year.
Right. So this won't compete with that then. Doctor Strange. Could it be?
Possibly, yeah. But I don't think. Usually Marvel comes out early
April, May.
The big one usually comes out April, May, and then before that you may get like a February, March type one, and then the third one is usually July or so, or sometimes it could be October, depending on what they have got going on. But I mean, I think maybe Tom Cruise has injured himself. Maybe that's why they've put it back.
Yeah. I mean, totally. Or he's working on Green Lantern.
Oh, don't. Please.
Yeah, I know. Right. Okay. So check this out. A film which you've praised.
Yes.
On this show. A Quiet Place sequel has officially been greenlit. Wow.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? Well, we knew it, right?
I mean, we spoke about the fact that obviously, first of all, the great film, nice, intimate settings, not a massive cast, written and directed by John Krasinski, who, he's a real life wife. Emily Blunt also plays in the film. Great film, all around. And we spoke about the fact that because it's such a good film, it made money no matter what. It's gonna have a sequel, but also I thought it could have a prequel. So it could go either way. So I don't know what's happening.
This could be a prequel or... I mean, I don't know, but something has been greenlit for them to take the story forward.
Yeah.
Like, whether that's prequel or sequel, I don't know.
Yeah. But in a way, because even recently I spoke with someone about this film. They liked it, and they said, I hope they don't make a sequel. Because it's almost like, it's a special film in itself. We don't get too much about where these things came from, and it ends the way it ends, and it's almost like a special closure. And
that reminds me of kind of like Arrival.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out what happens next.
Exactly. Yeah.
In those types of films. So yeah, but I guess Paramount, is it Paramount or
I don't know.
I can't remember who's doing this film, but I mean, they obviously they're following the money.
Money talks.
That's it.
Money talks and bullshit walks. So
great connection to one of our films later on. Okay. So Devar, tell us about this other like big.
Yeah.
This is a big kind of like superhero kind of comic character.
Spawn. Todd McFarlane's Spawn. So Spawn originally, the first movie and only movie came out in 1997.
Yeah.
So that's 21 years ago.
And that was Michael J. White?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. He's a massive martial arts action man. He's great.
And he turned up in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he's the one that said, "Enough." And then enough of this clown. And then the Dark Knight made the pen disappear on one of his henchmen, or the pencil. I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. And then he makes the pencil disappear.
It's classic, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it's brilliant, man.
But really, like, Michael J. White could beat up the Joker in reality.
You've seen the size of that guy?
He's
massive.
He doesn't age. He just gets stronger.
I just remember him in Spawn, and this is exactly the same.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about Spawn then.
What was it again? So Spawn, the Spawn movie has recruited The Walking Dead's Greg Nicotero.
Okay, this should be good things, right? Yeah,
he is, because The Walking Dead does a lot of they're trying not to use too much CGI, and they use a lot of practical effects when it comes to the zombies.
Yeah,
blood and makeup and making them look realistic.
Yeah.
So Greg Nicotero is the lead special effects sort of person on The Walking Dead. He's worked in countless films,
right,
doing lots of special effects and so on. He also does directing. He also produces. So he's big in the game.
He knows his shit, right?
Yeah, if he's going to be included in Spawn, making Spawn look the part. Spawn does look a bit zombified in some ways. So if Greg Nicotero can lend his experience to the making Spawn look and feel how the audience expects, then we're on to a winner here.
And just remind everyone who is going to play Spawn.
Yeah, so Jamie Foxx.
Foxx, yeah.
How's it go again? I'm looking for a Marvin Gaye,
a Luther Vandross,
a little Anita.
Oh shit! Oh man.
So, should be good. Should be good.
Okay, now this moves nicely on to
nothing's by mistake.
Exactly. Go on. This moves on to
Norman Reedus, who plays Daryl. In Walking Dead. He there was a not Comic-Con, but it was like a comic type sort of, I don't know what they're called, festivals or those conference type things that happened recently, and Norman Reedus was asked who he would like to play in a comic book movie adaptation, and he said, well, I do love my comic books, and if I could get a chance, I would want to play the Silver Surfer or Ghost Rider.
Oh shit! Oh, Silver. I would love to see another Silver Surfer.
Yeah. Silver Surfer is a gangster of a character. Norrin Rad.
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. Lawrence Fishburne, he did great. I mean, the voice, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of, I don't know, something was missing in that film, right?
Yeah, it was. And
we're talking about Fantastic Four, by the way.
Yeah. But he was so, in the comics, he's so powerful. And even in the comics, he plays a massive part in the Infinity War. Infinity Gauntlet, obviously it's not going to happen now because it's just not. But the reason why Norman Reedus said those two characters, there's a reason behind it.
Okay.
He's a massive surfer. He surfs all the time.
I getcha.
He's a surfer dude. Just look at him. He's a surfer dude. Yeah, he's a surfer dude. And also in Walking Dead, what does he always ride?
A motorbike.
The sort of motorbike that
comes from straight out of hell.
One of them Harley kind of Davidson, gritty looking, rusted but still works. Motorbikes.
So for the next season of The Walking Dead, it's going to be on the shoulders of Norman Reedus, right? Because we know now that Andrew Lincoln is going to be. He's confirmed it. He said, "Look, he's not going to do another season."
Yeah.
So Norman Reedus is going to be him now, the main.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think he could do it. I think we like him as a character, don't we?
We do. But he'll have support of the other characters, like I can't remember her name, but the one that's but had Glenn's baby. I can't remember her name.
Maggie,
that's the one. Yeah. So he's got her support and Jesus or Jesus.
So
I think they're gonna all step up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and then again, go on. No, please do.
So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays. I always forget his name. Negan. I don't know how I can do that because I love the character. I know. I remember Lucille's name more than I remember Negan.
I remember Negan.
Jeffrey D.
Morgan. He played Batman's dad.
Yeah. He did. Yeah. In and also that was Maggie as well.
That was Maggie as well. Yeah.
Yeah. In is it Cry Mally or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
So they were Norman Reedus and Jeffrey Dean Morgan were both at this conference thingy.
Yeah.
And they're both on the same panel. They both asked the same question. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I think at first he said, I wouldn't, maybe I would like to play Richard Reed, Fantastic Four. But then I think he thought, that's too much of a clean cut role for him.
Yeah.
So he said he wants to play DC's Lobo.
Now, what is
Lobo?
What is this? I've never even heard of this.
Lobo.
It's what? Wolf.
Lobo. I'm just going to keep saying Lobo.
What the hell is this?
It means wolf in Spanish, doesn't it? Yeah. So Lobo is like an alien bounty hunter type character.
Sounds brilliant.
He's a beefy mother effer. Trust me. He picture Wolverine.
Yes.
Mixed with Punisher.
Oh man.
Picture something like that, and a bit of Sabretooth as well, thrown in for good measure. He's a beefy guy. He's got sort of muscles everywhere.
Yeah.
Also has a mad healing factor. Mad healing factor.
Whoa.
Yeah. So he is like, he's a bounty hunter. He's like an anti-villain type guy.
Yeah.
In the DC comics, he's gone up against Superman and, you know, against some major players,
right,
and still walked away to tell the tale. So
wicked.
He is the sort of person that's like, you know, he's like a Venom type guy for DC.
Could he be kind of like, you know, the opposite of, you know, like Marvel? They've got Cable. Is he could he be that kind of like the opposite, like DC's version of Cable?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Even to an extent, Wolverine.
Right.
To an extent,
okay.
Yeah, he's just Lobo.
Yeah, man.
You know, and he's just crazy and healing factor, and he's a bounty hunter, so he's a bit like Boba Fett, but just, you know, he
like on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. So he's there to kill someone and he gets paid to do it. Like Deadpool, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wicked. I love that. I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, Lobo. You've heard now, so you won't forget.
And you've heard it on the Flixters, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the latest news.
For sure.
Keeping it with comic book characters, tell us, because I'm so like, I can't wait for this to come out, but Spider-Man Far From Home, tell us about this.
Yeah, so Spider-Man Far From Home, as we know, they're currently shooting as we speak. Like literally, I just text someone from the crew and they text back saying, stop texting me, we're filming. I'm not supposed to have my phone on me, but you just text me and we stopped and I got in trouble. So literally, as we're speaking, they're filming Spider-Man Far From Home in different locations around the world. But, so far we know that there could be obviously... going to be including a few villains. Yep. We spoke about Hydra Man a week or so ago. Yep. We know they're going to have a Vulture may come back into it. The Shocker may be involved in it as well because he was in the first one.
Sure.
And there's a few other villains that have been sort of, you know, rumoured.
Right.
But maybe something slipped recently. Sometimes it's not about what you see on set. Sometimes it's what you hear offset.
Right.
So Lego have been rumoured to have in the sort of the production lines, the mould of a character called Molten Man.
What?
Molten Man is a character in the Spider-Man world who has the powers of radioactivity. So he was exposed, the same way Spider-Man was exposed to a radioactive spider.
Sure.
He was exposed to... But what happened was...
Electricity line.
He stood too close to the microwave.
Oh, God.
No, I'm joking. But no, he's exposed to high doses of radioactivity and he now has the ability to emit crazy, you know, doses or levels of radioactivity. So it can affect some things, you know, like, you know, if he wants to touch a chair, the chair will sort of melt away and just be, you know, radioactive and so on.
Sure.
So he is a dangerous villain, I would say. Stay clear.
And you know what? It kind of makes sense, right? Here's a little theory that whilst you were talking about it, so I was thinking, right, okay, how come we're seeing all these villains? Because of the snapture, could it be that a lot of the heroes, they just went? So then this kind of, all the villains thought, you know what, we're having a field day.
Yes.
Let us just kind of like start going crazy.
That's a really good theory, you know.
Crazy bad shit. Let's flipping go there. And Spider-Man is trying to put the fires out.
Clean up. Yep.
So
that's a really good theory. That is.
Yeah. So all these villains are coming out of nowhere now.
Yeah, it makes sense. That actually makes. Do you know what? That actually makes sense.
Like Molten, bro. Seriously, right? Molten Man. I've never heard of fucking Molten Man.
What? That makes a lot of sense. You know. Damn.
You see?
Amar.
See, two minds. You're speaking. I'm thinking. Like, you know, there's stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, because you know. That's the way I would kind of think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we've got Molten Man out of the way.
Yep.
Now tell us about the man that is The Rock.
So yes, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is rumored to star in the new Big Trouble in Little China film.
I love that movie.
That film is an all-time classic.
And people forget, again, John Carpenter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
He's made like three of my favorite films.
What's that?
They Live.
Okay.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep.
And
The Thing. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Good call.
Come on.
Call. Yeah.
They're like, and look, Big Trouble in Little China. I remember when this came out and like Kurt Russell, because people might forget this, but Kurt Russell was big in the 80s.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, of course.
Because he had The Thing.
Yeah.
He had this and like, there was other stuff. Escape from New York was big as well.
Yeah.
John Carpenter. Again.
Yeah.
So there's the Thing here that you mentioned as well. So they're talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's going to be in it, but it won't be a straight up.
No, it won't be a remake. But it's rumored to say that the events of Big Trouble in Little China did occur. So they will refer to it, but it's not going to be just a remake of that. So it's going to be a different film within that world.
Okay.
It'd be very interesting to see how they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head, I wouldn't cast The Rock. I'm not saying The Rock isn't a great actor. He's a great guy.
He is. Yeah.
The most entertaining person in all entertainment. He really is. But and maybe it's too much of an easy cast, but I'll put Star-Lord in there, man.
You know what?
I'll put Star-Lord in there, man. I'm telling
that would be good.
I'll throw him in there because he's not going to do, if he can't do Indiana Jones or if he can't do one of those other films that he should be doing. I think this film is just for him.
Yeah.
Guardians 3 up in the air.
Exactly.
And so on. I think he would be wicked in this one.
Well, this is it. Well, you saying about up in the air, I was just about to say, and it quickly came to my head about it there being a delay now.
Yeah, for sure. A delay. For sure.
So originally, where were we going to see Guardians 3? When?
It was meant to be released in 2020.
Right.
So they were meant to start shooting early next year, 2019. Right. And that's not happening now. There's no director or anything. Even the Dave Bautista, he had an interview for a film that he's got coming out recently, and he said in the interview that he doesn't know what's happening. That the events of the fact that now Guardians 3 has been sort of indefinitely on hold.
Right.
It may change. The film might change.
Right.
And then that might also affect some of the reshoots on Avengers 4. So he did mention that he's got some reshoots to do this year for Avengers 4, but just all this has a knock-on effect. So depending on what they want to make out of Guardians 3, it may reverse engineer what they're going to do with Avengers 4.
Avengers 4.
Maybe who survives or what? Who knows?
Imagine if they're kind of like, the heads and Kevin Feige, whatever, and says, look, you know what, this is all too much bullshit. Let's just rewrite it so that there's new Guardians.
No, do you know what's funny you say that, because he was saying that whoever comes in to direct this and whoever's going to helm this film has got a big job on their hands, because to come and change a bunch of characters that everyone's fallen in love with.
Exactly.
If you do that, you face a massive backlash.
Massive.
But then if you don't do that, directors like to come on board, feel like they've got their own stamp on a project.
Yeah.
So how's this new director going to have the balance of, okay, this is my film, but okay, I'm respecting what's happened before me, and the legacy of these characters need to remain. So it's a bit of a balancing act for the new director, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, totally. No, I get that
for sure. But we'll keep you guys up to date. When it happens and when we hear more.
All things Marvel, ladies and gents, we'll push it out there, and we will definitely let you know. And finally, just to kind of finish off with our film news bit, tell us about Mark Wahlberg.
Yes, Mark Wahlberg.
This is a big project.
Yeah. This is a project on inflation.
And how much is this project worth?
$6 billion.
We are talking about
the $6 billion man.
That's crazy. That is just absolutely crazy. But you're absolutely right. Inflation.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because if you say £6 million now, or just say 6 million, it doesn't
That's
sound
not going to buy you anything.
like a house in London.
That'll get you a nice suit.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll get you, I don't know, like get you. Would I get you good teeth, or maybe get some eyes modified, or get some hair implants? But that's not going to go far in today's inflation.
No.
Back in the day, Steve Austin was his name, was it?
Was it Steve Austin? Yeah, I think it was.
Something like
that was the character name, and then the actor was Lee Majors.
Lee Majors,
that was it. Yeah, but Steve Austin, absolutely right, Steve Austin.
So back in those days, $6 million got you far. This guy could remember he could jump and it goes. And like all the slow motion jumps, and he was like Captain America, wasn't he?
Yeah, basically.
He was a bit like Captain America, like his endurance, speed, and all that kind of stuff. And I want to see what $6 billion gets you today.
Gets you.
I want to see if he's going to be like some next level.
Sure.
If he's going to be wired to the internet, is he going to have Wi-Fi? Is he going to
have a chip in his brain or like?
I reckon he should. I reckon he should be advanced.
Part man, part machine.
Exactly.
Sounds like RoboCop.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
And we'll be seeing in a few weeks' time. We'll be reviewing 22 Mile.
Oh yes, yeah.
It's a new Mark Wahlberg film, it'd be interesting just to see kind of, and we know he's a good actor and stuff. Yeah.
But this is out next. This is actually out next year, which means
they're working on it.
Yeah, exactly. If not finished it.
Yeah, totally. But here's a question for you, just before we finish our film news. You know, this thing about obviously remakes, reboots, and taking kind of like property, and when I mean property, I mean characters from TV from like say 30, 40, 50 years ago. Is this going to be kind of like the norm now where you could say kind of like regurgitating it, but then it's also adapting things from before. Do you think we're going to see more of this?
I think so. If this is successful, I think we will see a few more adaptations. I mean, oh my god! And now you mention it, it can open the floodgates. We could get Manimal. We could get Manimal back.
I remember classic
Manimal.
Oh my god!
Half man,
half mammal, like
beast.
like you. And I remember it would be either a dolphin, a panther, or an eagle, or something like that. Is
Manimal.
So. Gosh.
If they bring that back, I am there.
We're there.
First to watch it.
We are there, and also it kind of G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like they've obviously done G.I. Joe before, and this goes back to kind of like cartoon and the action man, the figure, the toy thing. So it can definitely. Why not?
They've done it with the cartoons. I mean, Transformers, obviously, is done well.
That's coming out as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Bumblebee's coming out soon.
Yeah.
But then we could go to like Thundercats. We could get all sorts coming out, so
that would be good.
Can you imagine?
What was in there talk? Did you mention He-Man?
He-Man, there's talk of He-Man as well coming out. So, but all those sort of 80s TV shows. I mean, A-Team's come out already.
Yep.
And it was only one. Or I think there was no sequel, was there?
I want to say yes.
Bradley Cooper. I don't think there was a sequel.
Okay.
But that was like an 80s show that came out as a film.
Yeah.
Quite recently.
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street.
And that did really well.
Yeah. That had a sequel, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, definitely.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see how well this does,
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that is your film news for this week. Let's now move on to the box office top 10. And, God, man, just seeing this, Deval, this is kind of like, my heart's a bit sinking over here. Sitting in at number 10 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, gosh, number 10.
I know, I'm not happy about that.
This is so far, according to the figures, to the digits, it's 15. It's taken just under 15.5 million.
Yeah, a bit gutted. It's been like 4 weeks, about 4 weeks it's been out.
Yeah,
and it's just going down and down and down. Usually Marvel films, well, in most recent history, they've stayed for quite a while and they've been quite strong. But
yeah.
This one, I only saw it 3 times. Maybe that's the reason,
Exactly.
I should have seen it a few more times.
But this 15 mil this is less than the first one, right? It's got.
I think it might be. I think it might be. Yeah.
But over the last 3 or 4 weeks, kind of like the big films have been Mission Impossible, Mamma Mia, Incredibles. Yeah. So it's had kind of like stiff competition, right? It
has, yeah.
But even still, seeing like a Marvel film like getting to number 10, and next week this is probably going to be out.
It is, and it goes against maybe the decision of putting back the release date, because it was meant to be out a month before, but because of the football World Cup,
right,
they pushed the release date back. So maybe it's come back and bit them.
Yeah.
Like a little ant in the bum.
Like yeah, exactly, yeah. All right, so it's at number 9. We've got Hotel Transylvania 3: A Monster Vacation. Now, I haven't seen this film, and
I'll never see this film.
Okay. but it's taken nearly 16 mil, so wow. It's done better than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
So clearly, and what I think is it was kind of released when it was school holidays.
Yeah.
And you had loads of like parents taking the kids out. Right? Okay, what can we go and watch? Hotel Transylvania. To be honest with you, I didn't realize there were 3 parts.
Oh yeah, I just noticed now.
Like seriously, 3 parts. So clearly, this film is like doing something. Right. Okay. So sitting in at number 8, a film you've seen, I've seen, and it was famous for Tom Cruise's leg ankle break or something.
Yeah.
So this is Mission Impossible Fallout, and this is at number 8. And overall, it's taken 21 million. So
not bad. It's been out for a few weeks.
It has, hasn't it?
In the last week, it's taken it just under 1 million alone. So that's actually not bad, you know.
Yeah,
it's still doing its thing.
It is, and worldwide, I think it's cleaned up.
Oh yeah.
It's some crazy amount of money. Okay, so sitting at number 7 is the Mila Kunis film "The Spy Who Dumped Me," which we'll be speaking about later on in the show. That's at number 7. Number 6 is Black Klansman. It's a film that you and I will be reviewing.
Yep.
And we'll speak about that again later on. Equalizer Part 2 is at number 5.
Yep.
So Denzel Washington starrer. Incredibles 2, which you saw, that's at number 4. And this film...
I'm still riding high, you know. It's been out for weeks.
51 million.
Families are going to see this film. That's why it's so high. Families.
Wow.
No one goes alone. Apart from me, but families.
So clearly there's going to be an Incredibles Part 3.
Oh yeah.
In about 15 years time, right? Or something. All right. So that's number 4. Sitting in at number 3 is the monstrous The Meg. So I'm quite surprised about this, but look, it's at number 3. It's taken nearly 12 million. It's kind of like that summer, disaster type movie, and people went out in their droves to see it. So it's done really well. However, it was no way going to compete against Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
No way.
Just in the last week, it took nearly 2 million.
That's crazy. And it's been out for weeks.
It's close to 60 million, folks.
60.
Yes.
60 million.
It will get to 60 million. And it's
Easily.
at number 2. This was number 2 last week, I think.
And it's still number 2 now.
Yeah. And the UK's box office number 1 film this week is the Ewan McGregor starrer, Christopher Robin.
Yes. Which actually is the co-star is Hayley Atwell.
Oh, Peggy.
Yeah. So
that got cancelled.
Was that?
Agent Carter got cancelled.
Oh yes, I thought you said this got cancelled. Yeah. I was so gutted about that.
What?
Yeah.
That was 1 season, wasn't it?
2
was it 2
seasons? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 seasons. Yeah. I was gutted.
What was? Did they say it just the viewership
just not
wasn't?
Enough. Yeah, just not enough.
Right. Okay.
But the fans hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that. I liked her.
Well,
Peggy.
yeah. I mean, Peggy. Oh, she was lovely. And then we saw her again in Civil War.
We saw her in Captain America 2.
Right.
She was old.
That's it.
And it was like Captain America went to go and visit her on a deathbed basically.
Yeah. And then which is the one where it was at the funeral?
Civil War. Sorry, Civil War. They went to the funeral, and then Captain America kissed her niece.
That was it.
Yeah,
okay, All right, so folks, those are your top 10. If you've got any questions about the UK's box office top 10, if there's a film on there that you want to talk about, you want to chat about, you want to just mention and give a big shout out to, let us know. We're on Insta, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on email. Just kind of drop us a line and we'll be more than happy to kind of read it out.
I heard that.
Get in touch. Right, okay, so out this week, or out this month, I should say as well, on Blu-ray, we've got some big films. All right, so Deval, take it away. This is...
Yeah. I don't know, since we started this podcast, it seems somehow every week we mention Avengers.
We mention Avengers because it's just kind of part of this show, isn't it now?
It's what started it. And it will end it.
With a... Right, okay. So look, out this week on Blu-ray, we have the Avengers trilogy, should I say?
Yes, it's the trilogy, yeah. So it's actually, there's a nice package trilogy Blu-ray set, but it's also 4K as well and 3D for people that have 3D TVs but never use them. So
exactly, I've never used it.
I've got one, I just don't use it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I've got a friend who's mad about it, and I'm like, but this it's crap. It was gimmick. It was just
it never really kicked off.
It never kicked off, did it?
But it's 4K as well, so that should be looking really good.
Pristine.
Exactly. So yeah, that's something I think I'll definitely have to cop.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
Sure.
Okay, so that's out. And what else have we got?
Mary Shelley.
Right.
So Mary Shelley, famously for Frankenstein. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That's right. Yeah. So this story actually depicts her early life and her relationships, and a bit about what made her who she is.
Right.
And so this comes out. I think it was released in a cinema, but not massively,
It went over my head, mate.
Yeah, most people's head, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, I don't remember this at all.
No, but it's meant to be an okay film. It's got good reviews, and it's a different spin on a classic. I guess what could you call her? A novelist or
yeah, definitely. Like, you know,
storyteller.
Exactly. And then she was in because she was married to a famous writer as well, Byron Shelley as well, and Byron Percy Shelley. And I think there was this kind of this tension between the two as well.
Okay.
But the fact that she came out with this story, this like, you know, Victor Frankenstein's monster, or as in back. You know, back then it was called the Modern Prometheus.
Oh yeah, because the Greek giving fire to the humans. Yeah.
So it was this whole thing, this conflict. Right. Okay. So the gods, we're supposed to be the gods, and then we're creating
life. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is kind of a whole dynamic. So yeah, it sounds interesting. But like I said before, I'm really sorry. It missed me. I didn't kind of like watch this or anything like that.
It's all right. Neither did I.
Yeah. But a film which we have spoken about, and a film which we have seen.
Yes.
And this is so cool to see this. But it kind of smacks of like just cashing in now,
it's
right?
cashing in for sure.
This is cashing in. And what is this one?
Dylan. You son of a bitch.
This is Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
This is like Shane Black, Jesse Ventura.
I don't know who else is in there, but yeah, it's just
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well,
we're talking about Predator,
original 1987 Predator.
1987. So I mean, I'm assuming this is going to look like wicked on the screen, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's on Blu-rays coming out on. But I know back in the day, even though they call it Blu-ray, it's not going to be the same as modern cinema Blu-ray, because back in the day the technology wasn't there to really, you know, take advantage of it. So it's going to be still clearer. It's going to have more features. It may show us the Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, behind the scenes when he was, you know, playing the Predator under the costume and so on. It might have, you know, news and features and stuff. So it's still worth getting and really immersing yourself in the Predator universe before the movie comes out.
And when's that coming out? By the way?
12th of September here in the UK. So literally 12 days or 10 days actually.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we'll be watching that
for sure.
And it's got
what are you talking about?
And it's got my man Sterling K. Brown, who I think is wicked. So I definitely want to see that. But you know what? I have got a feeling, you know, he's not in the trailer that much.
He dies.
I got a feeling he might die. Do you
know
maybe
that? Oh my gosh, I got it. I know what's going to happen.
What?
I know what's going to happen.
What? Exclusive?
I reckon he becomes that massive predator.
I thought you were going to say something like, "Oh, he's Carl Weathers' son."
Actually, you know what? I could be, maybe, you know. But yeah, I reckon he might become that massive predator, the sort of the lab predator, the one that they sort of you know, the kind of new one, the big one.
They start putting
modified one.
Well, okay. Oh, and the guy, the one who is in the trailer a lot, he was in Logan.
Yeah, and also he's in. Oh, you haven't seen it yet, have you? But he's in Narcos. He's the main guy in Narcos.
The main guy?
He's the partner of Oberyn Martell.
The Viper. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so...
But also, sorry, just
go on.
Predator still, I don't know if you noticed, but it's like, I don't know, they tried a little bit, they tried to recreate the cast of the original.
Yeah.
Because in the trailer, there's a bit where they're interviewing a Latina lady.
Remember, does that go back to...
Yeah, because in Predator
she
1,
survived.
I don't know if it's the same one, but it's almost like she seems like she's seen something similar to the first one. Who saw Predator, and they asked her, "Tell me what you saw." And she said, "What did she say?" She says it in Spanish. She says something. I can't remember what she said. It'll come to me later.
Okay.
But I think she says the forest came alive or something like that.
But that's from because that's what she says.
Does she?
In the first one, I think that's what she says.
Yes, I'm saying. Yeah,
the forest came alive.
Yeah, but I don't know what she says in the modern trailer.
Right, okay.
But it seems like the same sort of character that
they're trying to connect it back again.
Okay,
yeah. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to watch the film because I'm a big fan of the first one.
Yeah.
But the trailer was missing something.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just kind of...
I reckon, yeah, that the thing that you think is missing, I think they're gonna pay off.
Yeah. Well,
do you know what I think it is?
So. What?
Get to the chopper. I reckon he's gonna come.
Can you imagine?
I reckon he's still alive.
Yeah.
Because there's be no word of if he died or what.
No.
I reckon Dutch Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to somehow at the end somehow be in a chopper when they're trying to run away, and he'll say, "Get to the chopper." If he'll say it might be too cheesy to say
unless that's his dad.
Oh, the blonde guy. What's his name? Oh, it could be.
There could be some sort of connection.
Yeah, or he maybe Schwarzenegger's going to be in some sort of, like comms base. So they might mention him or something. But I think they should pay it off.
Definitely. Yeah, it will be interesting. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it. All right,
so that's that with the what's out this week on Blu-ray.
Yeah. And what have we got on streaming?
So new on streaming services. People are thinking, what is this guy doing?
Exactly.
They're logging off in their drone right now.
Switch off now. But
so
we need to come up with some jingles, actually.
We need to, actually. Why not? Yeah. But so new on Netflix, coming out real soon.
Yeah.
Maybe it's out now by the time you listen to this.
Sure.
Black Panther.
Massive, isn't it?
Yes, massive.
So this is kind of like when the deal that Netflix have got with Marvel is the film gets released in the cinema, 7 months later it's out on Netflix. But from the reading that I was doing, this could possibly be the last film that Marvel's release on Netflix, because as you know, Deval, and our audience might know, Disney are going to come up with their own streaming service.
Yes.
So all the films are going to move on to that. So ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Black Panther, where the hell were you? Go out and watch it before it gets taken off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No excuses now.
No. And this was like I've mentioned this to you before, there was this kind of, murmurs while the film was being made. Oh, is a film with an all black cast, is this going to do well? Are people going to be interested in this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
And whoa, man,
it just surpassed all expectations.
Yeah.
Right. So
and it's the one film that, I don't know if you've seen this, but Kevin Feige, it's the one film that he says it's the one that film is close to his heart.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because they took a gamble on this film and it paid off massively.
Yeah.
But he said it was a film that they wanted to, they had to show.
Yeah.
So
you got to trust the material. Trust the material. Do what's close to your heart, and just take a risk sometimes. Go with it.
Yeah.
And it made money back. Like how many fold? And even the sales, and also just the what's the word I'm looking for? It's just created a buzz. People just were talking about it. It created a movement. There were all these Q&A sessions about it, and people just really connected with the film. People of all backgrounds,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so.
Like all backgrounds went out to watch this film, and there was none of this thing. Oh, I'm not going to watch it because there's no white people in it or anything like that. None of that sort of shit. So, really happy that it's out on Netflix, and also I'm really happy they're going to make a sequel.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll definitely see that one.
Next is a trailer.
Tell us about this Peppermint.
So we all know Marvel Cinematic Universe has Pepper Potts. Yes. So in this film, it's a short film.
Okay.
She's sitting at a sort of on a bench in a park, and she just sort of pops a mint in her mouth.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's peppermint.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh shit, man!
I'm joking.
Okay, I'm waiting for this.
I know.
I'm waiting for it.
Peppermint stars Jennifer Garner.
Oh, Electra.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
This film, the trailer looks really good.
Okay, what action, drama?
Think of a female version of Frank Castle.
Oh shit!
Have that in your mind.
Yes.
Yeah, and exactly what you have in your mind is peppermint.
Wow.
Do you know, I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story of Frank Castle? How he was created?
The kids and everything
in the fairground.
Yeah.
There was like some sort of deal gone wrong,
and then he got caught up in it, and then his family got caught up in it. Sorry, and
killed. And
in
Peppermint, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. She's in the fairground with her family. Some gang rivalry thing happens.
Oh shit!
And her family get killed. Yeah. And then she is created. Literally, it's the same thing. It's
so they could just call it Franca Castle or something like that.
Yeah, literally, it's literally Some women are called Frankie. Could be
Well,
so
Frankie Castle, yeah.
literally. But so she goes on she basically goes away for 5 years and she trains.
Yeah.
She comes back and she takes the law into her own hands. She is cleaning up. So she literally, all the gang people, she's taking people out.
Yeah.
And people in the community start seeing her as a savior, a guardian angel.
Well, this is like...
Exactly. But at the same time, the cops are saying she's a murderer.
Right, okay.
But she's cleaning up.
Yeah.
So, it's like that double-edged sword, catch-22. So, but yeah, she looks like she's in shape.
Okay.
She looks like she's done the work and she looks serious. So this film actually looks all right.
All right, I'll watch out for that one. I'll have a look at that trailer. Okay, now this one sounds intriguing. Tell us about this trailer.
E-Demon, yeah, it's a horror film. To be honest, it doesn't look like the biggest blockbuster type horror film, but at the same time, I think it's important to not only show the big films, but the smaller films as well. So
definitely.
E-Demon is a trailer that showed lots of people. I mean, today's day and age, lots of things are online. Most of our lives, or most of our lives spent online in some shape or form.
Sure.
And in this film, it shows a story of a demon that can travel via the
via email.
Yeah, via the internet, and it can possess people. So a bit like maybe The Ring, but like an E version of The Ring.
Like an MP4 version of it.
Exactly. So it's like it's taking people over. Things are happening.
Yeah,
and it's just crazy. It's just so it's an E-demon. Literally, it's a demon via
electronic demon.
Yeah, so maybe turn off the Wi-Fi and you're safe. I don't know. I don't know. Could be a quick fix. Imagine calling the support desk. Hello, how may I help you? Yeah, so. I've got an E-demon problem, so I turned on my laptop today and my son was possessed and he got a knife out and started to stab his sister. So I don't know what to do with that. Well, sir, I would suggest that you turn your desktop off and on again, and perhaps the E-demon will be exorcised. Oh, okay, thanks. I'll give that a try. It could be as simple as that. Who knows?
It could be like press restart or something.
Exactly.
Oh, shit,
that's what I would do anyway.
Oh, classic.
So yeah,
that's E-Demon. I'm definitely gonna watch this. This is a crack up. Okay, so another trailer, Night School, and I've seen this trailer actually. This is Kevin Hart.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
it's
I think
funny.
This was meant to be out a while ago. I think so. I think it might be pushed back. But but I've heard about this film a while ago. But Night School is Kevin Hart. Is comedy.
Yeah,
it's also got. I can't remember her name now. It's gonna bug me. But she's a big. Comedienne, right? Okay. As well. She was in Girls Trip, I believe, and she hosted an awards show and done really well. And her name, I don't know. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm going to get her name, but so she's like co-starring in Night School. Yeah. And it just looks funny.
It looks funny, doesn't it? I was laughing aloud
comedy,
on this one.
Film. So I'm definitely going to watch.
I remember when I went to the cinema this week and I saw the trailer a couple of times and I just thought, he's just got that face, where whenever he speaks, he's just so funny. And that, the comedic timing that he brings to the performance. I just thought his
voice as well, the tone of his voice. Sorry, it's her name is Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, right. Okay.
So she's a massive star at the moment.
Sure.
So she's coming up there, literally, yeah.
Okay, cool. And also, I wanted to quickly mention, and this is, obviously, there's not an episode that goes by where we don't mention Marvel, but Iron Fist Season 2 is out this month.
Yes, it is, yeah.
I think September the 7th. Yep. So that's in 5 days' time.
Yep.
Next week.
And it's all going to be out all at once. They dump it all on there.
Exactly.
Usually I watch it by the end of the weekend. So I start Friday, by Sunday or stroke Monday, it's done.
Yeah. Totally. So we'll, obviously, ladies and gentlemen, we'll watch that and we will let you know what it's like, whether or not there's been an improvement on it. Yeah. And I can't wait for that one.
It's meant to be improved. From what I hear, they've taken a lot of time in improving it, because the first one was kind of rushed out and didn't go so well, didn't land so well. But this one, they've changed the showrunner and they've invested more time and they've made sure that this one's going to be better. So I think it should be.
You could say they've ironed out all the creases in that one. Okay, all right.
Watch him. He's on fire.
Well, you know.
He's on fire.
And just before we move on to our next section, I just want to mention I'm watching. So this is what I'm watching currently on Netflix at the moment. A show called Cocaine Coast.
Oh, okay.
And this is because you recommended Money Heist to me.
Oh yeah.
So this is another Spanish,
Okay.
Spanish language production set in the 80s and this is based on a true story, based on the cocaine trade from the coast of Spain out into Europe. So you got the Colombians, you got the Panamanians, you've got local gangsters, you got this one hotshot guy who I think looks like a young Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, yeah.
He's got that kind of features. Yeah, so far I've watched about 4 episodes. It's really good. So I'm into that one. And also, just kind of like someone recommended this to me, said, look, just watch a couple of episodes of this new show. It's called Insatiable.
Okay, never heard of it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a new show. It is something that you probably would never watch. I would never watch, but someone recommended it to me. I started watching it. I thought, okay, it's quite quirky comedy. And just briefly, I'll just tell you, it's about a girl who was once huge. She loses weight, and then she starts to get all the attention.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, it's quite funny and it's a bit sweary and everything. So, you know, you might not be expecting that. But yeah, it's quite funny. It's good. That's what I'm watching. But, I mean, Ozark Season 2. I'm gonna tear into that one. Please do. For sure. Let us know about that one. Yeah. Right, okay. So now let's move on to Anniversary Corner. Okay, so... So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a section of the show where we bring you 4 or 5 different films where we go back 30 years. That's right, 30 years. So, films from 88 all the way to 2008. And let's start off with a film from 10 years ago. So, this is 2008, a film which you've chosen, Duval. Yep. And tell us about this one.
So this one is it's actually a remake of a film that was out in, I think, 1951, I believe. I could be wrong, but yes. Called The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yes, boom. Okay, tell us about this.
That is a story following a song featuring Busta Rhymes where he says, stop. And also a Tribe Called Quest when they say, breathe and stop. For real.
That's so true.
But yeah, so it's a film about an alien that comes to Earth and brings the message of the Earth. We're just treating Earth really shit, basically. Yeah. And the aliens are saying we're not good enough for the Earth. They're gonna just take over, take the Earth back from us, and the Earth. That's the day the Earth stood still to listen to the message. That's what it took.
And I remember, this is so silly because I remember his name. His name was Klaatu.
Yes, I was just gonna. Yeah, I know.
Fuck,
such an alien name,
of
isn't it?
All the
Klaatu.
things, yeah, of all the names, like that's
such an alien name.
I know, it's stuck in my head. But listen, here's the thing. You know the thing at the end. You know the what is it? What would you call that thing at the end? Like a
tripod type. What thing?
The thing that walks.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know.
What would you? It's like a robot.
Yeah, like a.
And it has like a beam.
Yeah.
But where have you seen that?
A War of the Worlds, isn't it? Or
no.
Hold on.
Where have you seen that?
Shit. Oh, what, Marvel?
Yes.
Oh man.
You've seen it, Duval.
No, hold on. Not in Infinity War.
No. Go back.
Oh damn. Okay, Captain America.
No.
Guardians.
No.
Damn. I'm not doing well. Iron Man.
No. Think after Iron Man.
Okay, so Thor.
Yes.
Oh, yes, so the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes.
The similarity between those
I'm so
two.
stupid, of course. Yeah. The Destroyer. Yeah.
I was just like, because I remember watching Thor and I was like, shit, we've seen this, type of thing. But okay, as a film, I'm just going to quickly give you, what I thought about it. I thought, oh, God, I was just so bored.
Was he?
Yeah, seriously, man. I was just like, look, it had...
because it was Keanu Reeves or just...
Yeah, I mean, he was so flat in this movie. Yeah. And I get it because he's playing an alien.
Yeah.
Lack
humanity. And
exactly. He's trying to figure out what is going on and is this place worth saving? Yeah. And what's her name? Oh, God, the actress.
I can't remember her name, but I think it wasn't Will Smith's son in it as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it's a bit annoying in this film for me, but
Jennifer Connelly.
Oh yes, she was in it. Yeah. I like her. Yeah,
she's really good. Yeah, she's really good. But it just didn't have the. I don't know.
The je ne sais quoi.
It didn't stand still for me, put it this way, that film.
Gosh.
All right, so that was like 10 years ago, 2008. And what else have we got?
So 15 years ago, 2003, is One Missed Call. This is a Japanese film. Yeah, so a while ago, we mentioned Ringu and stuff like that, I think last week or week before.
Yeah.
And there was a time when America realised that J-horror and Korean horror was really doing things that were unique and different.
Yeah.
And America started to remake all of those films, Ring, The Grudge.
Yeah.
What's the other film called again? There's a few films. They'll come to me, but there's a few films. The Eye,
that was
and Mirrors, and there's all sorts of films that they remade.
Yeah.
And One Missed Call was one that they remade as well. But this version is the Japanese version. So it's basically a phone call that you get saying when you're going to die.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So literally saying when you're going to die. So
great.
It's not a phone call that
you want to take.
Yeah, exactly.
So imagine you would say, "Oh, can you just get that call for me, please?" You got mates around.
Exactly.
And,
set them all up.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
but what an intriguing setup, though.
Yeah. I've seen funnily enough, actually, I haven't seen the Japanese version. I saw the American version at the time. It was all right.
Was it
all right?
right?
It was starring Shannon Sosamon or Sosamon, I think her name is.
Yep, she was in Hellboy.
Yeah.
No.
She?
No.
You're thinking of what's her name?
Selma Blair. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But Shannon Sosamon, she's been in quite a few independent films.
Lost.
Was she in Lost?
I think.
Okay. I did see her in a horror film, As Above, So Below. Came out a few years ago.
Oh gosh, the one in Paris.
Yeah. She's been in a few films. She's a good actress.
Yeah.
And she was in this film, but yeah, it's not a bad film, Even the American version wasn't bad.
All right.
So yeah, just thought I'd give it a mention and just to sort of lend to what we were saying last week about the wave of J-horror and Korean horror films that came out, and just the legacy that they had in the early 2000s that's still present.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, totally. And your next film, the one that you put on the list over here, is a film that I remember clearly. I remember watching it in the cinema.
Yeah.
And it was riding this wave of clever kind of taking like the horror film, the slasher movie, and bringing it forward.
Yes.
And I remember this was written by or directed by Kevin Williamson.
Okay.
Who had a hand in what were the fuck me, man. It's just
who's this?
Kevin Williamson. He was behind the guy who directed Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wes Craven.
Okay.
What were those films that he made with Scream?
Okay, Scream. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I think it was around about that same time.
Yeah.
And this is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah. Well, I went to Cyprus and and Greece, but I thought I already mentioned that to you. I went last summer. Oh, you meant the film? Oh,
yeah,
so yeah.
The filmed about
it. Yes. So.
But yeah, tell us about this one.
Yeah. So I Know What You Did Last Summer. I went to cinema and saw this.
I saw it.
Really good film.
Yeah.
And it was about a group of teenagers that had an accident while driving home from somewhere.
Yeah.
And they knocked someone over and they thought he died. I think it was a fisherman or something.
That was it.
He had a hook and like a raincoat.
Yeah.
And they thought he died. Unbeknownst to them, he didn't die. He then, a year later, started to haunt them and leave these messages saying, I know what you did last summer, as in, you knocked me over and left me for dead. So he starts to, hunt them one by one.
And like knocking them off.
Yeah, exactly. And scaring them. I think Brandy was in it as well. And
that is right.
Brandy was in it. You had what's her name? She was in The Horse Whisperer, I think her name is. But it'll come to us.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That's the one. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah. You guys saw what Amal just did. But yeah, so really good film. I think Josh Hartnett, was he in it, or may I get him mixed up?
That's it.
He might have been in it.
He might have been in it. Yeah.
I think Mickey
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, him. Yeah, him. He was in it. I think as well. He's been in a few films. He was actually in ER. ER, and he was in that zombie film with Zack Schneider, the one that he done in 2000 and something, the Dead, the Land of the Dead, Day of the Dead or something.
Okay,
where they're in that shopping.
That's it. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, I think it is. But yeah, so yeah, good film, great film. Even if you watched it today, it will still be okay actually. Because some of the sort of some of the scary scenes, some of the deaths, and some of the quite surprising. It also had Michelle Gellar, isn't it? Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh.
Because they had Jennifer Love Hewitt and also Sarah Michelle Gellar, didn't it?
No, you're talking about Scream.
No. She's in this as well.
Really?
Yeah.
As one of the friends?
Yeah, she's blonde, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't she in
Buffy?
I swear she was in this as well.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, I'll double check, but I swear she was in this as well. Because I remember she was like a beauty contestant or something, and there was a scene where she was
like gets slashed up.
Yeah, she was like in like a beauty pageant show, and she was like pointing, saying, he's over there, and no one would listen to her. I'm pretty sure she was the one that was in it. Okay. But yeah, it's a good film. Yeah, so that was 20 years, man.
20 years, man. I remember watching this, babe.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so this one
is a timeless classic, and this one here is evidence that sometimes the sequels are so much better.
Yeah, so this is Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit, and this is 25 years.
Yes. This is one of my sister's favourite films.
Really?
She's watched this about 100 times.
Oh, wicked.
And obviously I had to watch it too.
Yeah.
But this film here is so funny.
Yeah.
Sister Mary Clarence.
And I remember Whoopi Goldberg, she won the Oscar for Ghost.
Oh, okay.
She won the Oscar and
wasn't Ghost a similar time?
You know what? It was.
Might have been a similar time, isn't it?
It was 92, 93 or 94.
Like on fire. Jumping Jack Flash.
Oh my
God. That's about
Carl Carl Weathers wasn't in that one. No, as well. No. But I mean,
she was
Jumping Jack Flash. Yeah, I know. And then remember, after that, it was always this thing where, all right, so she was in Ghost, she was in Sister Act. And then I was like, okay, where is she? And then she turned up in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, she was like lady in a cafe or something, giving advice.
I know. She's like 1,000 years old or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, oh my God. So tell us about this one.
Whoopi. So yeah, it's just 25 years, man. This film here, you could watch it today and still
crack up.
Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was in it.
Oh my God,
the guy from there was that band that had 3 people.
Jodeci. No. I know which one.
He's the one that had the hat. The kind of but yeah, so there were a few stars in this film.
Aaron Hall and
I don't know if it's him, but there was a few stars in it. They're all singers slash actors.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's such a feel good film. They're singing, and they had to raise money to save the church or something, and let's go to a contest. And
you remember they turned this into a West End show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's massive.
Exactly. To this day, it's still going on. So that goes to show the impact in society it had. Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg, actually, I saw a poster. She's returning.
Oh,
comedy show, stand up.
About time
in the UK. Yeah, she's literally coming soon.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, so she ain't gone.
No. She's going to be around. All right. Okay. So and this moves us nicely into this next film, last film, which is from 30 years ago. And I remember watching this in the cinema. I went with who did I go? I think I went with a cousin of mine, and you know what? When I saw it, I just loved the whole concept of it.
Yeah.
And this is having 2 people from opposite worlds. They come together and then they realize that they're twins.
Yeah. So it's the Penguin and Mr. Freeze.
Exactly. Who would later on become like villains in the DC universe. So we're talking about twins. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and well, what a story, man. Massive hit.
Arnie's like 6 foot, whatever, massive powerhouse. Danny DeVito, short guy, just nothing. They look nothing like each other, but they're meant to be twins.
Exactly.
I remember the poster. I think one of them was leaning on the other. I think
exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
It's just such an odd couple.
It was brilliant because there's a bit in the at the beginning of the film where Arnold Schwarzenegger has been living on this island, right? But he's so educated. He knows martial arts. He knows like philosophy. He knows all this shit. And then the person who's looking after him says, "Look, it's about time now. Look, you go off. Here's details about your brother. You've got a brother who lives in the city and whatever." So he's walking down the streets of like California or wherever, and he sees a poster of Sylvester Stallone in Rambo 3.
Is it?
Right. He sees, so this Arnold Schwarzenegger sees a poster.
My gosh.
Right. And there's the poster is of Stallone with his bicep out.
Yeah.
And what Arnold Schwarzenegger does is he looks at his bicep, he touches it, right? And obviously his is bigger, and then he looks at the poster of Stallone, and then he goes, like meaning mine is bigger. Who are you? I just loved it. I just loved it. So it was like an in-movie kind of joke between those two. Yeah. But yeah, good film.
That's wicked.
I'm glad you brought that one up. 30 years, wow.
Yeah. 1988,
And you remember they did a kind of, not sequel, but they brought Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito back with Emma Thompson.
What's it called again? Duplisno.
No, it was where they're having a baby. Arnold Schwarzenegger's having a baby.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, that's a weird one, wasn't it?
And it was a flop basically. All right, okay, so folks, that is your anniversary corner, and that was new on streaming. So let's move on to our film reviews, and boy, have we got some great films for you. So what I want to do is I want to give it over to you, Deval, for Slender Man. So let us know about this, because you saw this. I didn't get a chance to see this. So tell us about it.
Yeah, you've done yourself a favour. You've done yourself a favour,
Oh,
mate.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, so usually I don't like to give away too many spoilers and let people go and watch the film and just,
make their own minds
exactly,
up.
Yeah, but on this occasion, Slender Man, I'm going to tell you guys.
Do it.
This film it was not good. It was not good. It was slender by name, slender by nature. There wasn't much to it. A few jump scares. The premise is like a modern myth of a man who's slender, some sort of creature, sort of looking man who steals children and haunts them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like high school kids or college kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And they watch this video, a bit like The Ring, actually. They watch the video and that goes into their mind, and from then they just like, it's like game over. They start freaking out, they start seeing things, and one by one they like, plucked. But it's just, there wasn't much to it. It just wasn't, there was nothing in this film that I haven't seen before. And I watched this film late. I watched it late by myself in the cinema. I came home and I slept like a baby. I wasn't I wasn't scared at all. It's not like Hereditary, where I watched that and it was on my mind.
Exactly.
Even other horror films that aren't maybe up there still gave me a little bit of a, but Slender Man, I was looking forward to this film,
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it. And it did let me down. And the reviews are saying similar. The reviews are not good at all.
Right.
Even trying to watch this film for me was difficult because many cinemas were not even showing it.
It's not in my local cinema.
There you go. I think the cinemas have realised, or the distribution company realised and thought, no, we're going to make it a limited release, maybe save money or something. And, it's just, it wasn't all that.
Right, okay.
It wasn't all that at all.
And in terms of like, the kind of the horror films that we see now, like go back 3 or 4 years, like, Annabelle, Conjuring.
Yeah.
It's not on par with those ones, is it?
At all, no. This is just, nah. I mean, like I said, there's a few jump scares and here and there and stuff, and maybe what they were trying to do was, no, there weren't. No. It just wasn't. There wasn't anything major to it. I wouldn't recommend someone to watch it, and usually I would recommend someone to watch it.
Okay, yeah.
But no, it just didn't really do anything to me.
All right, no,
it just slender.
Yeah,
it was slender.
Because I saw the trailer and I thought, shit, this looks creepy.
And even some of the things that were in the trailer weren't in the film.
Oh gosh, I hate that.
So it just let me down. It did let me down a little bit, actually. I felt betrayed.
And any like famous actors in there?
No. Don't get me wrong, the acting wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like a performance thing. It's just the film just didn't really land for me.
And it sounds like as if you had the same sort of experience that I had with The Marrowbone.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Because I saw that, I was looking forward to it, and I thought, oh wow, this is going to be really good. And it was for me, it was just a letdown.
Exactly. Like It.
Yeah.
It was a good film.
It was.
Had good characters. It had it built itself up well.
Yeah, it was
funny.
funny.
Had jump scares, but also had something more sinister involved. It was a good, complete horror film.
Sure.
Maybe not the best, but it was I recommended it. I've seen it twice or 3 times now.
Yeah, you'd definitely recommend that film, wouldn't you?
Yeah, whereas this one I wouldn't.
Okay.
In a nutshell, I wouldn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You've heard it from the Flixters. It's...
Yeah, I'll give this one 4.5. 4.5.
Yeah,
4.5. 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, sums it up basically.
Yeah.
All right, so let's now move on to Black Klansman.
Yes.
This is a film we both saw. It's been a while since I've seen a really, really great Spike Lee film, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
The last film that I kind of remember, and one of his that I kind of loved, was Inside Man.
I was just going to say, Inside Man was quite good. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that film. And I mean, I know, and obviously he's done like documentaries, and he's an outspoken person in America, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, he talks about, Black Lives Matter, and he speaks about the movement. He's spoken out against, for example, other filmmakers. I remember he spoke out against Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, did he?
When he made Django.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yeah. I remember.
he's got things to say.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about his films from before.
Yeah.
And for me, it feels like as if this is a return to form.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously we don't want to give stuff
let's
away.
Not spoil too much, but let's just tell them how we feel.
All right, tell
them how we feel.
Let me just kind of give like a broad like synopsis of this. So the film is set in the 70s.
I wasn't too sure when it was set.
Yeah.
But I know it's back in the day, but I wasn't too sure exactly when, because some of the things they mentioned Martin Luther King.
That's right.
And they mentioned a few other people and events. I think Nixon at the time.
Yeah.
Around, so I couldn't really. So yeah, maybe is it early 70s maybe or something, or
there's a bit right at the beginning where Alec Baldwin is in the film and he gives this speech.
Yeah.
I think that happens in the 50s and 60s. That was in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And that was really important because that was what was going on in America at that time.
Okay, yeah.
And then it kind of just segues into, we're now at, right, this is what was going on in the 50s and 60s in America, deep racism.
Yeah.
People having segregated like schools, buses, like all that shit was going on in America.
Yeah.
And now it started to become a bit more modern.
Yeah,
so you got
exactly.
the 70s. You've got like, obviously the Black Panther movement was big in the 70s.
Yes.
There was a lot of people who were kind of like standing up, and it was just, didn't you think, Deval, it was just so relevant for today?
Oh, very relevant. There were so many subtle hints to Trump that were quite funny.
Yes.
Some subtle and some more just in your face. There was like one scene where they not directly, but they're literally talking about Trump.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Just so many different social commentary that just hit home. And I could understand, as a brother, there's so many things that they were talking about that I could just understand 100%.
Sure.
Well, even the fact that when the cop, the main guy, was talking on the phone, and he was talking about the voices that he's got, 2 different voices. I know that. I've got 2 voices. I know. I know those voices. I use those voices.
That was
It's just
brilliant.
so like, you can't, it's almost like you can't use your natural voice because it's just not, it's just not.
You know what? I feel you, man. That's brilliant. So let me just quickly give a breakdown. Right? Okay, so this film is set in the 70s and we follow a character who wants to become a police officer. He's black, he's in the 70s, and it's not something which you get from the film and from the times. It's not something that a lot of black people do, but he really wants to become a police officer. He's wanted to be a police officer from such a young age. And one of a big important scene in there is where he's been interviewed by, the chief, and the chief turns around and says to him, like, what are you going to do if, another copper says this to you? Like, says something kind of like derogatory and and I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, like in that time, that is what the shit was going on. So you could be working as a police officer and people, your colleagues, would be saying shit to you, and obviously that stuff doesn't go on to your face right now. I'm sure it does go on behind people's backs, but it was one of those questions, part of the interview. And it was, the response was, well, look, if I have to kind of, accept it, then I'll accept it. But I mean, I don't readily accept it, type of thing like that. So the setup is really clear. The first black police officer in what era? Do you remember the town?
It was Colorado
Springs.
Yeah.
Right. So he becomes like, a police officer. He's working in the kind of like, in the office. He's like admin.
Yeah. He works in like the records department. So the people go to him to ask for different records of different criminals and so on.
Exactly. And for a fact that this person has got a conscience. He wants to make a change. So people come in and they say, oh, can I have this? And like, the terminology that they use, he doesn't really like it. So he kind of starts to kind of say, hey, look, you know what? We don't call them this, we call them that. And, let's start changing things around. And, you meet characters who are basically wankers, really. Like, if that's a term that we can use on the show.
Just used it.
Yeah. So, and then all of a sudden he says, look, he goes back to his chief and he says, look, you know what? I can become a detective. Let me be a detective. And you know what? The chief thinks, all right, maybe we could. And you know what? Let's give him a little bit of a mission. Let's give him a side project. Let's see how well he does in this. And he does really well. And then he gets promoted to work undercover, which is like pretty amazing. Lo and behold, one day he's at work and he sees an advert in the newspaper. There's an advertisement where the Ku Klux Klan are looking for recruits. And what does he go and do? He dials the number, he puts on his white voice, and he pretends to be a white person. And the Ku Klux Klan, the person who picks up the phone, is like, oh, wow, you know what? We want to meet you. We need you. Look, let's kind of like meet up together. And this is where the story unfolds. So he's a black person. He's a black police officer. He's just called up the Ku Klux Klan and they want to see him. So what happens? He needs to get someone else involved. And this is where we got the Adam Driver character who pretends to then be the face of, the black police officer.
Yeah, and he's Adam Driver.
Kylo Ren. Yeah, I know. That nose, man, of his massive. But so look, when you watch the film, what kind of some of the things that were going through your mind?
Yeah, for me, it just resonated with me. It just resonated. I could connect with it. I can understand where they were coming from, and it was quite bold in what they were trying to achieve, and just the thought of it. Because I thought Black Klansman, how's that going to work? That's impossible. But literally, he was a Black Klansman through the voice, through the phone. He infiltrated. He gained their trust. He was a member, and it was crazy. But just like some of the that's what I said before, the social commentary about the racism and how people are treated, how they the names, the segregation, and just having to obviously use that you can't be yourself in that society. I can understand it. It's just literally like it just hits home because obviously now things aren't as bad, but there's still. There's still bits there, I couldn't, like, for example, I couldn't use how I'm speaking now is how I speak, but in certain situations I've got to flip that and speak a certain way to be, I guess, accepted or integrate into the, into that world.
Sure.
And it's just, I could just relate to it. Obviously I'm never going to say it's, I've never gone through anything like that back in the day. That's another level.
Yeah, that is.
But it still drips onto today.
No, totally.
But just the main character. I can't remember his name now.
I forgot his name. Damn it.
His name will come to me.
Sure.
But the main character, the cop who, at first he's undercover to go and speak with to go and find out about the Black Panthers. They were.
That's right. Yeah.
Find out what their message is, and he comes back, reports the message, and it's almost like he defends it a little bit because they will say no. So this person is talking about a new war and arming yourself, and so what's your interpretation of it? And he's like, oh well, everyone was just chilled. I wouldn't say that they were gonna start a war. And then the white guy Adam Driver's like, oh no, they were looking from the sounds of it, they're looking to start a war.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, when Adam Driver goes to the KKK's meeting and comes back to report, and then he's like, oh yeah, so they were talking about this and that, and then the main character, the black guy, says, oh no, they're looking to start a war.
Exactly.
It's like
it was both sides.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
that
subtle, like how people interpret it, depending on what side you're on.
Sure.
And it's just clever the way they did it.
It was clever. And what I loved was, do you remember the membership card that he received?
Yeah.
So this is a membership card. You are part of the Ku Klux Klan. And that membership was the actual real one.
Oh, is it?
Because what Spike Lee did was he interspersed the film with real images, and that was the membership card. That was the real thing.
Wow.
And there were kind of like so many things like in there which I thought, wow, man, this is like what you said about he has a conversation with another police officer, and the police officer, the white police officer, was saying to the main character.
Ron Stallworth,
that is it. He was saying to Ron Stallworth, he was like, look, he goes, someone, the head of the Ku Klux Klan, Duke something, right?
Yeah.
He could end up being like the president of the United States of America.
Yeah.
And Ron is like, what's he talking about? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
We would never elect someone like this that would never happen in America. And
everyone laughed, didn't it?
Everyone in the audience, they were started clapping.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Because we, as the audience member, know that shit like that has gone
can
on.
Happen. Yeah,
Wait, with Donald Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, same as my cinema. Everyone reacted to that. It's just like a chuckle, irony kind of thing.
Exactly. So there were so many things in there, but I think to myself, one of the best scenes in the movie, right? You know, there's the Black Panther meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is a true story within the film. You know, the person speaking about the about the lynching.
Yeah.
That lynch.
Yeah, it seemed like it was real.
Lynch happened.
Yeah. I've heard of it before.
So this was a first-hand experience of a person at a lynching, and they interspersed that with the Ku Klux Klan meeting.
Yeah,
man, I thought that was wicked.
That was I could sense that it was more than, he wasn't an actor. He was retelling the story
of that lynching.
What he said, it's like what his part wasn't like a film.
No,
it was almost like he watching a documentary, because he got into some detail.
I'm so glad you said that.
He got into some detail that was like, you just don't hear about.
Yeah.
You know, cutting off certain parts and all the things that happened. And you don't really, in a film, you wouldn't really get that.
Yeah.
And you can tell from the way he was talking from experience, not just acting. And the audience, the people in the room, they all felt it. And then they had images that they showed.
Yeah.
And it's like they were looking at the camera.
Yeah.
It stopped being a film. It was a message.
Absolutely. And that was one of the things which I was like, wow, I'm watching like a documentary now.
Yeah.
So it's got this kind of like, obviously the stuff that happened, we will never know. You know, the Ron Stallworth stuff, we won't ever know if what he really said with the Ku Klux Klan and all that sort of stuff. But it's kind of like the story behind that was he infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan. He got help with his, fellow police officer amidst all this shit that was going on, and it was real, man.
Yeah.
This stuff is real.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
But I got to say one thing, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I thought there was tension in the film as well.
Yeah.
There was a crazy Ku Klux Klan guy who interviews Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Because he's got this thing, he's like, "Are you a Jew?
Yeah.
Are you a Jew? Are you a Jew?" And in the film, you realize Adam Driver, he is a Jew.
Yeah.
He's playing a Jew.
And it's almost as if he forgot himself he was until that moment where he was questioned, and then he had to defend himself for the first time, because no one's ever questioned it before.
Yeah.
And I think that made him probably, appreciate his background maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show they don't like anyone unless you're like proper white. They were talking about, the forefathers and the American way and all that kind of stuff. And when you really, really think about it, obviously, if you're going back, it's like, no, the Native Americans, they were there, and
exactly
they were, they talk about the wars, but the wars it wasn't like how it seems like it was. It was people coming to take over, creating the war to take over. So just going back, it's just mad. It's mad how, and then that's how they feel that that's their, I don't know, it's political. Yeah.
And there was a scene in the film where the Ku Klux Klan members, they are watching an old silent film called The Beasts.
I've heard of it. It's called The
Beasts of No Nation?
No, that's the Idris Elba film. It's
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation, yeah. It's a real film. It's a real film. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
And basically what they say is that is from that, when that film came out, that is when you started seeing this kind of, Ku Klux Klan members and stuff like that, right? I just thought, wow.
Yeah.
That is just, and a part of me just thinks to myself, how did they film that? Like, the actors, the white actors, like going through that and saying some of the shit that they say. I was like, wow, man.
It's just part of the role. They just got to do it and just own it. And but because I guess for us, because you're not used to that.
No.
For them as well, I'm probably sure they're not. But they must have like a pre-production, meeting or something where they just like air it out and say, we're going to say it. But they probably practice and say it to someone's face. Yeah. Get it out of the way. So when they do it on set, it's just natural.
Right.
But it's just, and all the lynchings that happened and stuff. I mean, even now when someone says the word, lynch, like, I know the meaning behind it. Yeah. Many people don't really understand where it's coming from. Yeah. But it's unsettling when I hear it sometimes. I heard it in a meeting. I used to work for a recruitment company. Yeah. And we had a managers meeting. Sure. And one of the managers said, something about something happening, and they thought they were going to get lynched or something. And I looked at her. Yeah. She didn't realise why I was looking at her. Yeah. I don't think she realised herself where it comes from. looked at her like away and just sort of looked away, and I don't think anyone else realised.
Right.
But I thought, what's she talk like?
Exactly.
Does she know what she's saying, kind of
exactly.
thing. But yeah, that's a great film. I think it's one of the best Spike Lee films that I've seen.
Yeah, it is really, really good, and I hope a lot of people kind of see it. And judging from the, I'm just looking back at the UK box office top 10. It's in at number 6. It's done. It's taken over 1 million, so hopefully more and more people will watch that film. So ladies and gentlemen, if you can watch it, go out and watch it. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Are there things in it that you felt were like uncomfortable, made you feel uncomfortable? Why? Was there stuff in there which you just kind of didn't agree with?
Yeah.
I think there's so many things in there.
So many. The score, I think the Spike Lee's got Spike Lee films have a certain score.
Yeah.
And it kind of continued. And also actually the music was very blaxploitation from that era, from Superfly, from Shaft, and they even spoke about those characters, Pam Grier and all those people. And when Ron Stallworth was talking with the main character, she was from Spider-Man. She's Spider-Man's love interest.
Oh,
she's the Vulture's daughter. That's her.
Gee, I was thinking, where have I seen her?
Yeah, and she resembled Angela Davis, she was like a freedom fighter from back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if they called her that, but I know on the listings her name's different. But she reminded me of Angela Davis, who was part of the movement. Very intelligent lady who's very spoken about those issues. But yeah, the music, the very blaxploitation, reminded me of modern, like obviously Luke Cage kind of music, but that was obviously lends to that as well. But yeah, and then obviously I was waiting for that moment that Spike Lee has in all these films where they slide.
Yes,
and it came. It paid. I don't want to spoil it, guys, but it paid it off.
It just paid. And I just briefly, what I will say is, the actor who was in Straight Outta Compton, the one who played Dr. Dre.
Okay. Oh yeah, he was the guy. Yeah.
He gave the speech. He was that's based on a real person.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And that speech, you know what? The speech was
powerful.
Wicked powerful.
Yeah, very powerful. He was in Walking Dead as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's and he did they cancelled it now, but the 24. He was the new guy in 24.
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Yeah, so he's done quite a lot. He's a very good actor.
And with that, I don't know if you remember, but whilst he was giving the speech, Spike Lee had the camera focusing on the faces.
Yeah.
Oh man,
like a montage of faces just slipping and sliding,
and you see the reaction.
Yes, yeah. Perfect.
Wicked.
Great film. Guys, you got to go see this film.
Go watch it.
I'll give it a good 8.5 maybe.
Yeah, I was 8.5.
Yeah,
definitely.
Really good film.
Really good film.
At the end, like I don't want to spoil it though.
Yeah.
Guys, don't leave until the very end, because there's some very powerful imagery that you need to see.
Now, okay, but that was him, wasn't it?
I'm talking about the very end.
I'm talking about like at the end when the KKK are there.
Yeah.
Under the hood.
No, I'm talking about after that. Even, I think it may have even been during the credits, of the protests and stuff like that.
Oh
yeah,
shit, man! But what about the face that they focused in on?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Is that who it is?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, does that mean he? No, okay.
I don't know, but guys, watch this film.
All right,
watch
okay.
The film.
Shit, we were talking in riddles here. All right, okay. All right, yeah. So go and watch that film. Definite solid 8.5 for that one. Okay, ladies and gents. So that was Black Klansman. Go out and go watch it and let us know what you think about it. Now, up next, I thought I'd have just a quick review of another film that I watched this week. Actually, I was quite busy this week. Saw quite a few. So the next one is The Spy Who Dumped Me. So Deval, this is kind of like a play on the James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I found a hole. When I was watching this film, right, I found the biggest hole in this film was the title is The Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah. And you know what the strange thing is?
What?
She dumps the spy.
So the title's wrong.
It's like I didn't get it. The film is called The Spy Who Dumped Me, and when you watch the film, she, who's not a spy,
okay,
she dumps the spy. So I don't get it.
That's bullshit.
It's The Spy Who Dumped Me. So they
just wanted to get the play on the title so bad,
and that was it.
Just
And I just thought, you know what? If I'm thinking about that in this film, come on, there's like, my mind is elsewhere. So basically, Mila Kunis, she is this quirky, 30-something, works in a coffee store or something like that.
Okay.
And we don't know it, but I mean, through the trailer, you'll find out anyway, but we don't know it. But her boyfriend is a spy, and the spy is played by, do you remember, Jennifer Aniston, the one that she broke up with?
Theroux.
That's it.
Something Theroux.
Justin,
I think. Yeah.
Justin Theroux.
Oh, they broke up?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's big news for you. Yeah. And Flixters.
I'll give her a call. See
what's going on.
Yeah.
So he plays the spy, and he's out in Bulgaria or somewhere like that. And, there's a massive kind of fight scene, action packed. I was quite surprised actually for film like this, low budget type of thing. I thought, wow, they're kind of really going for it. He plays a spy, he gets caught up, and he makes a phone call to his girlfriend, who's Mila Kunis, and he's like, look, I'm coming back over to the States. Please, whatever you do, don't throw my shit away, right?
Okay.
Don't throw my shit away because there's something really, really important in his shit. Okay, so Mila Kunis, her friend, she dumps him, and then they start going out on this kind of thing. Let's go out, let's kind of have fun. You don't need this guy, blah, 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 blah. She gets into a mission. She's got to basically save the day because she has something that the spy had, and now it's in her possession.
Okay.
Which means that she has to go to Berlin. She has to go to Paris. She's got to go to all these different countries, right? And it was just kind of like, right, okay, how can we get these two characters now from this place to that place to this place, and let's throw in some car chases, let's throw in some gunfights, let's throw in obviously random comedy elements. And there were some bits in it which I did kind of find quite funny, but on the whole, I got to tell you, it wasn't that funny.
Is it a comedy then, or
it's a comedy action?
Okay.
And it's like a fish out of water thing where you place two people who you put them into a lifestyle that they just totally not they can't deal with, and then just see what happens. They got to travel the world, they got to kind of save the day, they've got a mission to complete, and then by the end of it they're the heroes basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we're seeing a lot of these types of films.
Yeah.
A lot of these films where you would probably originally or before you might get males doing it.
Okay, yeah.
But now, because people are obviously want to see a variation of that same story but with different characters, you're seeing a lot of kind of females play those roles. Mila Kunis, she's brilliant. She's a really good actress. She's believable. Her friend was crazy in it. She's she had kind of a lot of the funny stuff to say, which I was kind of laughed at the most. But in the end, I just thought, okay, I've seen this before in the 80s.
Okay.
And I just know. I mean, they didn't bring anything new apart from the fact that it was just it happens to two females.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Would you recommend me to watch it? Or would you say?
I'd probably say no. I'd probably say devour, save it.
Okay.
It's 5 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Just kind of
halfway house.
Yeah, halfway house type of thing. There was one action scene in there which I thought was kind of okay, this is quite funny, this is quite good, but on the whole, mate, I think you've seen it all. And it's sitting in at number 7, I think.
It's quite new though, isn't it? So
yeah, I'm not sure. So it's debuted at number 7.
So yeah, so it might it might be gone next week.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So watch it while you can.
Next week.
Exactly. All right. So that moves me on to the next film that I want to speak about, which is Yardi.
I didn't get a chance to see this, but I want to see it. I'm going to see it.
Yes, you have to watch it. And this is famous, obviously, for being Idris Elba's debut film.
Yep.
Idris Elba was in the news recently because there was this whole debate about, will he, won't he be the next James Bond?
Okay.
And he came out, he categorically said, no, I'm not going to be the next James Bond. And you know what? I think, great. He's got other fish to fry, and he wants to get into kind of making films, showing different stories onto the screen. So I watched Yardi, and I had a lot of expectation about this film. And whilst I was watching it, it reminded me of City of God.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
quite raw, gritty.
It is, because at the beginning of the film, it's set in the 70s Jamaica.
Okay.
See a little kid, he's called D, and he is, it's basically a life of poverty, really.
Okay, yeah.
So, he's grown up and he's got an older brother who's this DJ. So there's a lot of crime, obviously, in the streets of Jamaica, in Kingston Town. And, early on in the film, you see a school girl getting killed because of the violence, because of two gang members. So you got the Spices and you've got... oh God, I can't remember what the
mixers,
gang.
Spices and mixers.
you got these two gangs, right? And a little girl gets killed. So D's brother, the DJ, he says, right, you know what? We're gonna put an end to this, and he sets up a soundstage, right? Soundstage in the middle of like this warring area. So you got the two gang members. Little D helps him, and it's wicked. Like the music is wicked. It brings everyone together. But then I'm not going to say what happens, but there's a tragedy at that event.
Okay.
Which then means that D's life has turned upside down.
Okay.
All right. And he then gets involved into the gangs, right? Because he's no longer on the path to righteousness. And throughout this film, there is this theme of what's right and wrong, righteousness.
Okay. Yeah.
Righteousness. And do you follow... which wolf, the bad wolf or the good wolf? Which wolf are you feeding?
Okay.
So which I really, really liked. And then the movie shifts over to London in the 80s.
Okay.
Right. And this is the part that I love the most, because it reminded me of all the shit that I remember from the 80s.
Yeah.
So, for example, one of the things that I noticed from this, and this is the minute detail, but they put it in the film. And I'm like, how do they remember this? But obviously they have people who do this sort of shit. Do you remember Corder's Circus?
What?
Corder's Circus.
What's that?
A poster with a lion. Tell me you remember the poster of the lion and the circus and the lion with the mouth wide open.
I remember Zippo Circus.
There's Zippo Circus, and there was Corder's Circus as well.
If I see the image, I might remember, but
bro, you know what? I was with my friend. I was like, no. I was like, you can't. They had a poster of Corder's Circus, because I remember this from my childhood.
That's old school, yeah.
This is old school 80s stuff, right? And I was like, the attention to detail.
Like Ford Cortinas around and stuff like that.
That is it. The flares, the jackets, the cars, like oh man, it was all of that era, and I thought they did it really, really well. Now, so it reminded me. So I thought it has an influence of City of God at the beginning of the film. That rawness, the children, looking at the violence, the streets in Jamaica and everything. And then it shifts over to London. And do you remember Gary Oldman in True Romance?
Yeah.
Dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
They've got a character like that in this film as well. And the actor is, he was in Lock, Stock and Two... No, sorry, he was in Snatch. Do you remember Jason Statham's, like his mate?
Yeah.
That guy. I've forgotten his name. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
He was in...
Shorter guy.
I
know you're talking about, yeah.
Now, he is a gangster, but he's a bit different because he's white, but he's speaking with a Jamaican accent.
Oh, is it?
But one thing that I didn't get, or something that I might have missed, was they didn't explain, why does he have a Jamaican accent?
So he's not from... Maybe he... Okay.
Now, was it because... in the 80s or in Idris Elba's, because obviously he's using his experience, was there someone in his life who was like that, and it was just never explained?
Okay.
But this guy is like that Gary Oldman's character, but up a notch.
Oh, on steroids, yeah?
On steroids. Well, in this case, cocaine. Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it was like really powerful performance, but I didn't get why he played that in a Jamaican accent.
Okay.
I don't know. And maybe that's something that you'll be able to kind of watch it. And is it because he felt a part of that culture? If so, there wasn't like the reaction that he got from other people. It wasn't like, oh my God, he's speaking with a Jamaican accent. Like, I don't get this, like a white man in London speaking with his Jamaican accent. Like, I don't know. So maybe that was just one of the things that caught my attention. But attention to detail, the story about which path do you take in life? It's so easy for people to get into kind of crime, drugs, and It's also a story about revenge. You know, the baggage that people bring with them. Whether you go from one country to another country, from one place to another place, what do you bring with you? What demons do you bring with you? And can you let your demons go?
Yeah, of course.
Are you beholden to your baggage? Can you know, does that shit control you, or you control it? You know,
that's a magic question, isn't it? Where most people sometimes can't even answer. It answers them.
That's deep. Deep. That is deep. That is deep, man.
It's
seriously.
True. It's true.
So, whilst I was watching it, I was like thinking about all this stuff, and I've got to say, right, for a first-time film, I thought this is wicked. Like, you know, the music of that time, and you know, there was a lot of the stuff, like, you know, the costume design and all that sort of stuff was brilliant. There were some parts of it which I thought to myself, okay, I know what's going to happen. So I think you will be able to predict what happens.
Okay.
But for me, it was a great first film. And it was great to see this kind of journey that this character has. A bit predictable. The directing was really good. The acting was very, very good, to a very good like standard. Like I said before, the performance from that guy from Snatch, he was really good. It was up a notch. And the main character, his name is Amil Amin.
Okay.
I can't remember what I've seen him in before, but he's done loads of, like, you know, kind of like British films before as well. So, you know, I think he's going to be a rising star.
Wow.
This guy.
Okay.
You know, I think we'll see him in like other big, like, you know, American films, and I think he's got that kind of that gravitas where he could kind of like pull things off.
It's good to hear.
Yeah. So I will definitely go out and check it out.
Oh no, I will definitely. Yeah. I'm going to see it during the week, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely watch it. There's so many good things in it, and let me know what you thought about that character. Why is it that he has that? Why is it that he speaks in that way?
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch it and see if I can if I've got any insight in that, because it might just make sense when I watch it. And
yeah, because I don't remember them explaining, or no one questioned him. Hey, like, you know, you're from London. Why are you? But it could be the factors of that time. Maybe the culture
just took over.
And they felt so a part of that culture that there was, and they never saw the difference between the white and the black. Like, you know, a white guy speaking in like you know with a Jamaican accent. And the funny thing is, because there are bits in it where he does then turn into proper Cockney accent.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like as if it's just Jamaican accent all the way through.
Yeah.
No, he switches it.
Okay. Oh.
So, but they accept it. You know, the people around him and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely give it a watch and tell me what you think.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
So what would you give it out of?
This is, it's a bit, let me see. I would probably give it a good 7.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, a good 7. It's a strong 7, because it's not hard. Like, you know, it's not easy to kind of, I think, to bring out that performance from young people. And the kid at the beginning, he's like really natural. Like, you know, he gives this great, like, kind of heartwarming performance. And I think the director, Idris Elba, coaxed that out of him.
Okay.
You know, and I think for that you need to be applauded, man. It's not easy doing that stuff.
I know.
Filming from Jamaica and then going to London and organising that, and how the look of the film that you want. I thought it's
That's an achievement.
Yeah, man. And I wish, like, and what it means is if he can go out and do this, and I hope it does really well, it gives other people the chance to tell stories.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So then you've got like more people telling these stories, and it makes money, because at the end of the day, film producers, what do they want?
Money. Do re mi. Money talks.
Unfortunately. You know, so I just say, like, go out, support it, and hopefully it makes money, so then he can go out and make more films, and other people can make more films, and people don't think, this film is just like all black cast. It is. It's an all black cast, apart from this one guy.
Okay, serious.
Yeah. So, you know, but that shouldn't be a hindrance.
Yeah,
as we saw with Black Panther.
Yeah.
Obviously, totally different, like, you know, Marvel and like, you know, but I mean, you know, it's that type of a feeling that I got from it. But yeah, definitely loads of stuff to kind of like watch in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen.
Cool. I'll give that a go.
Give it a go.
So thank you for that review.
Yeah, no worries.
Amar.
Let's now move on to hidden gems.
Yes.
Right. So, what has the garden produced for us
The
this week?
the garden. Well, I've watered the garden, and the garden has brought back some hidden gems that even I forgot about. But also, I'm growing some heart-shaped herb for my knee. So, hopefully that will grow as well.
Yeah.
So the first one I have is What Happened, Miss Simone.
So, what happened?
Documentary. What happened, Miss Simone? It's like a question.
Yeah.
And this documentary is about Nina Simone.
Right, the singer.
The singer, yes. This documentary talks about her life from when she began singing right up until the end of her career, and just the people that she was influenced by, people that she sung with, her relationships, her daughter. It's such a good documentary. I had no idea who she was, really. I've heard a few of her songs. She's a great singer, don't get me wrong at all, but she's an activist as well. So it kind of goes in line with the Black Klansmen, about people like freedom fighters or activists of that time, and she was very outspoken. She had two halves of her career. The first half, she was very commercial, singing songs, people loved her, she filled jazz clubs, all of that. And then there was a point where she I guess to put it in today's context, she got woke.
Right.
She was woke. She was like, hold on a second. Why are people being treated like this? Hold on a second. Why is that happening? Hold on a second. This and that.
Yeah.
And then she stopped, following the mainstream. She started to go to these rallies and talk about freedom for her people, all sorts of things like that. And then her fans started to, dip.
Right.
And certain record labels and so on didn't book her as much because she was outspoken in the things that they didn't want to be seen to be attached to.
Yeah.
So then she just very much changed, and some people say she changed for the better. Some people will say she changed for the worse. But she's very, very passionate about what she believes in, and she sings about what she believes in, she talks about what she believes in, and she does not compromise for any of it.
Wicked.
She'd rather make less money and be real than make lots of money and be fake.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just she's very, very she's just very passionate, and that passion obviously brought a lot of ups and downs in her life. Her family talk about it, her husband, and it's just a very, very, very intimate story involving a legend in the music industry.
Wow.
And it's a documentary that I recommend you seeing.
Yeah.
It's just such an inspiring and powerful documentary. It just goes to show what you hear sometimes isn't always what is the truth.
Yeah.
So for me, it opened my eyes a lot.
Yeah, wicked. No, I want to check that out.
So I definitely recommend it. It's very, similar, when was it? I think maybe a year after or a year before. This was 2015, but there was a film called Nina, or called Nina Simone, one of them. And it starred Zoe Saldana.
Same thing.
This was a film version, but yeah, it was about her life and so on. But that film, like you've not heard about it, have you? Yeah, the film got slated because Zoe Saldana had to colour her face darker, because Nina Simone's quite dark. And Zoe Saldana's quite light,
right?
And she had to sort of darken her skin to match her complexion.
The tone,
and some people are saying, why didn't they just hire a darker actress, someone that resembled her? And it just got slated. That you've not really heard about the film.
And you know what it probably comes down to? They were like, because obviously Zoe Saldana, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, all that. She's got the name.
Yes, they're trying to.
It's like, oh shit, man. Yeah.
So they could have. There's actresses that I reckon could have, like, what's her name, Viola Davis. Yeah. She literally looks like her pretty much. Same sort of hair, same sort of facial. She looks like her. She could have done it. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway, What Happened, Miss Simone? Okay. Good documentary. Yeah. If you got time,
definitely.
I believe it's on Netflix. I watched it on. I've got it on in my gem garden, but I believe it's on Netflix as well.
Okay, cool.
Second film is The Loft.
Now, is this keeping in line with creepy horror films?
It's a thriller. I wouldn't say it's a horror at all.
Okay,
but it's a thriller, starring Carl Urban.
Yeah, from Star Trek.
From Star Trek, yes. Also from Chronicles of Riddick.
Yep.
Also from Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
And he's been in a bunch of films.
Yeah.
Also starring Cyclops, Marsden.
Marsden, yeah.
And also has Wentworth Miller from Prison Break.
From Prison Break,
and he's also in like DC's Legends of Tomorrow and stuff like that. It's about a bunch of men. Yeah.
Yes.
A bunch of men who I believe they're all either married or they have partners.
Right.
And these men are very naughty.
Okay.
These are naughty men.
Yes.
So these men are nothing like you and I.
Right, exactly.
These are naughty men that they have indiscretions. Yeah?
Right.
And they figured out a while ago that rather than go to hotel rooms and stuff like that, where that can be traced, they rented an apartment,
right?
A loft apartment.
Yeah.
They've rented under some other name or something like that.
Yeah.
And they take turns to take the indiscretions to this apartment and do their thing, so no one knows, no one can trace it, and they can carry on with their life
and get on with it. Yeah.
Exactly. And one of these indiscretions ends up. I don't know if I'm going to spoil it, but something happens.
Turns bad.
Yeah, shit hits the fan, goes tits up.
Yes.
Something bad happens, and it spirals into a whole web of just conspiracy, of lies, of.
And then do the friends? Do
sex,
they start
lies, and videotape?
Oh,
basically,
really? And do the friends? Do they start fighting with each other then?
Yes.
Okay.
Trust is a massive thing.
Shit.
Trust.
Sounds
and sometimes
interesting.
you don't know who to trust. You don't know what story's true or what, but there's so many twists and tales in this. So many.
Wow.
But yeah, The Loft, 2014.
I'm going to check that out. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting film.
Yeah, okay.
I saw it a while ago and I was like, wow, this is all right, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
And then next one we have is Plus One.
Plus One.
Yeah, Plus One. A while ago, probably in, I don't know, episode 2 or 3 maybe, or 4, I asked you to watch a film called Coherence.
Yeah, I saw.
You saw it?
Yeah, it's the sci-fi film.
Yes, that's right. This is like Coherence.
I'm watching it.
This film here is Plus One. It's about these teenagers who go to like a big house party. The parents are away. They're quite rich, so it's a massive, like a Bel Air mansion type house party, and go to the house party, and weird things start to happen at this house party.
Right.
Almost as if, like in Coherence, something alters the fabric of space and time, and all of a sudden these clones start to appear. So it's almost like something happens, a gateway opens, and that your clone could be at the party, but your clone is aware of you, and your clone wants the other you dead.
Oh shit.
So it's just really weird. It's like it's so weird. All this in amongst the party. So yeah, so it happens, and there's this it happens in waves. So every, I don't know, I think it's like every 7 minutes or something, then a clone will appear or something like that. Something happens where it's almost like you're working on your laptop.
Yeah.
Every 7 minutes, you press Control C.
Yes.
And then you press Control V every 7 minutes. So something copies
and then pastes.
Yeah. So something happens and just things appear, and it's good the way they do it. It's quite well made. It's a teen film, but within that teen film, it's a sci-fi dimensional time travel thing. It's crazy.
That is wicked.
That's why it's called Plus One, because you're going to a party with your plus one, but you don't even know about it yourself. Oh. But this film came out in 2013, same year as Coherence. So you did the math or maths. So yeah, but it's an interesting film. I've got it in my hidden gem if you want it.
I want that one.
Yeah, so interesting. And the last hidden gem that we have is Teeth.
God, this does not ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell. It's not supposed to, otherwise it wouldn't be a hidden gem.
Bell.
So Teeth is about a dentist. I'm joking. Teeth actually is based loosely on a true story.
Right.
I'm going to start the sentence off but like that.
Okay.
This came out in 2007, so 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Teeth, like I said, is based loosely on a true story. Yeah, before I begin. Teeth is based upon it's a film I wouldn't say it's a horror film, but it's got horror elements to it.
Right.
A young lady who her fanny. I knew it was like laughing. Her fanny or vagina, her nun, however you want to call it, has teeth.
What
and she like has these sexual encounters, and
it bites people's dicks off.
Yeah.
OMG.
Yes. So there is a condition scientifically, can't remember what it's called, but where the vagina will have like cartilage, like some sort of cartilage formation.
Right. And what it traps?
That makes it difficult to have intercourse. I don't think it actually traps and has teeth, but if you go in a certain way, it's like it's gonna sort of really gonna be difficult.
Right.
It's gonna be quite a tough a tough journey. But like I said, loosely based on the true story of someone who had that condition in her her vagina.
Yes.
And had a sexual experience and ended up deforming another guy's penis.
Oh.
And in the film, they go obviously on steroids, and things happen, and penises are
basically chopped up. Oh my God.
I think she's meant to be a virgin or something, because she's never had sex, and the first time it happens, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But it's quite a sad story actually, because she wants to. She meets guys.
She wants to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's this film came out quite a while ago. It's a hidden gem. It's just one of those
really
films
hidden.
That you hear about and you're like, what? But it's called Teeth, and
that's like a double take. Like, what?
I know,
Hang on a second.
Yeah, and without spoiling it, she does things happen. Let's just say it that way.
Oh my
things happen.
Gosh.
Yeah. So
this is intriguing. I'm like, you know what? I want to watch Plus One.
Yeah. I can see you want to watch that.
I definitely want to watch Plus One, because I mean, I love that sci-fi.
Yeah. It's literally like Coherence, but more of a teeny type party version.
I'm sold.
But yeah, good film.
Brilliant.
But those are the hidden gems for this week, guys. Hope you liked it. If you want to know where to find them, contact us. Let us know. I will send you details of where to find the hidden gems, or if you're really lucky, I will personally send you these gems.
Will come to your house. Deval will come to your house.
Yep.
And just like give them to you.
Exactly. Hand delivered gems.
Exactly. So that's what more could you want, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So Deval, thank you so much for this week. It's been fantastic talking about movies with you. We've got loads of stuff coming out, like Iron Fist.
Iron Fist coming out.
We've got Venom.
Yep. We've also got the Nun is out next week as
Nun
well.
Is out next
so
week.
we're gonna review that.
Halloween's gonna be coming out soon.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, keep it locked. Keep it locked to the Flixters. Find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on
YouTube, Facebook. Download us on Spotify. Like I said at the beginning, iTunes, Google Play. Guys, find us. You will not be disappointed.
Exactly. And as a little treat,
as we always do, if you first you need to be a subscriber. And just make a comment or suggestion of what you'd like us to review. Just say hello, whatever you want to do, get in contact basically. And within that line of contacts, you put in episode 15 and you will receive a movie cinema code to watch a film of your choice at any View or Cineworld Cinema in the UK. Only. Thanks.
I was just going to say, we're working on our partners in the US, right?
We are working on our partners in the US to hopefully expand this offer internationally. So watch this space.
Keep watching for a while.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy. Thanks, Deval.
Peace out.